Hey y'all, welcome to today's show. If you're new here, my name is Shirley. Today we're going to make my pasta sauce, the one that I usually put on spaghetti. We put it on in lasagna. We use it for just about anything you would use your store-bought pasta sauce for. But I make mine homemade. Me and my kids, we prefer it homemade. So we're going to get started. I'm going to move y'all back here to the stove. Okay, in my pan, I got my ground beef. I got it browning. It's pretty much brown, so we're going to take it out so we can drain it on our paper towel. So I want to get all that out. And in our pan here, we're going to add our chopped onions and our mushrooms, and I'm going to cook them in this these drippings from this ground beef. Try to get as much of this out of here as I can. And this is 2 pounds of ground beef because we are making a large batch of this pasta sauce. Because my kids love this pasta sauce and so does their friends. And every time I make it, it doesn't last long. It's usually gone before I know it. Let me let that get back up. And this is going to be 1 large diced onion. And I'm using mine that I already had that I diced and put in the freezer. Put that in there. And I got 1 8-ounce package of portobello mushrooms that I sliced, and I'm going to throw them in here. And I usually just kind of brown up my mushrooms a little bit and just kind of brown my onions. You don't have to do this step, I just do it. Yours won't have as much liquid in it. Mine has all this liquid because they were frozen. And the liquid's coming out from them being frozen. But I'm going to cook that back out of them. I was just being kind of lazy and didn't want to dice up another onion. Thought I'd just use those since I already had those diced up in the freezer. I'm trying to keep them in the pan, not throw them out of the pan on the floor. Silly woman. Just about where we want them, guys. Just about where we want them. I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning salt to these. Just like that. And then just a little bit of black pepper to them. Just like that. There we go. And I think that's good enough. We're going to move these over off of the heat, and we're going to bring our tomatoes over on this eye, and we'll start adding everything into our pot with our tomatoes. Move this over here. In this pot, I have 6 quarts of diced tomatoes with the juice. I also have, so far all I have in there is the 6 quarts of diced tomatoes. I haven't put the crushed tomatoes in there yet. Now I'm going to add 3 quarts of crushed tomatoes to it. Try not to make a mess all over my kitchen. Now there's the 3 quarts of crushed tomatoes. Give that a good stir. Set that to the side. All right, I got my heat on medium. Now to our pot, we're going to start adding all of our stuff. We're going to let our onion mixture cool down a little bit. We're going to start adding, we're going to add onion powder. That's 4 tablespoons of onion powder. There's 4 tablespoons of roasted garlic powder there. We are adding a whole cup of Italian seasoning, if I can get it open. So half a cup. Here's the other half. We are adding a third of a cup of chives. Get all those out. Let me go ahead and start stirring this in. Yep. So I can get it mixed up. We're adding a third a cup of fresh basil. Just keep in mind we already have some dry in there. We're just adding some fresh too. We have a third a cup of fresh oregano. Some of my tomatoes are not as small as the other ones, but when I put my immersion blender in there, they'll all be same size. You won't be able to tell it. All right. Now we're about to go in with our garlic. that was only about 2 cloves of garlic right there that I had frozen. So I'm gonna get a couple more cloves of garlic out of the fridge. I just wanted to use up those last frozen ones. These minced garlic, we're gonna go in with probably about 2 more tablespoons of garlic in there. I like a lot of garlic in my sauce. All right, now get this all stirred up. Okay. Now we're going to add our ground beef to it. Being careful not to splatter ourselves with it. Or throw it on the floor. But the puppies don't mind, they like it being on the floor. Alright, let's get this all mixed up. We almost didn't get a big enough pot. Alright. Now we're going to start spooning in our onion and mushroom mixture. And I don't add salt right now because of the seasoning salt, and I wait till it simmers for a little bit and then I add salt if I need to, because I do not want it to get too salty. Let's get all of these out of here. And if somebody in your family does not like onions, you do not have to add these onions, but we love the onions. And I have the one son who does not like onions, but when I get done mixing them up in there with the immersion blender, he never knows they're in there. So he just knows that it's good sauce. So. And if he can't see them, he don't mind them. All right, I'm gonna get all this mixed in. We're gonna let this simmer, and I usually let it simmer for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half on really low. I'll put a lid on top of it and let it simmer, usually about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes, like I said, an hour and a half depending. And if it gets too thick, I add a little bit of beef broth to it. Most of the time, I never have to add anything to it because I want it to thicken up. And I'm going to let this simmer. And I'll bring y'all back in about 30 minutes and we'll check it. Hey y'all, while we waiting on our pasta sauce, we're going to make another recipe. It's called Tuscan Chicken Bake. It's a low carb recipe and we're going to put it together and bake it. And what you need is, let's see, I've never made this recipe, so I got to look at the recipe. So we're going to add 2 cups of broccoli florets to our pan, and they are frozen, so that's the water coming off of them frozen. Break that one up a little bit, it's kind of big. All right, put them in the bottom. And then we're going to add 8 ounces of spinach, which is 1 cup of spinach, to our pan here. All right, we're going to add a container of cherry tomatoes to our pan here. And I washed these ahead of time. Okay, spread these out. This is 2 chicken breasts, and I cut these up just kind of like, you know, bite-sized pieces. We're going to add these in. Okay, kind of spread them out on top of everything, on the tomatoes and stuff. All right. Okay. That one didn't come apart. All right. This chosen olive oil here, and kind of drizzle a little bit all over everything. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. Now we're supposed to add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning and just kind of sprinkle it all over the chicken. Trying to get a little bit on all the chicken. I want just a little bit more because I missed a piece or two. Yeah, just like that, so that all of the chicken gets some. There we go. Get back in there. Well, except what went on the floor. All right, 1 teaspoon, and I'm using the roasted garlic powder, but it says just garlic powder. All right, and spread that out all over the chicken. Okay, and then just put about a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm not even going to worry about opening that one up. Just kind of put enough all over it. Cover it real good. All right, and then after you do that, it says to take and put a 3-ounce bag of sun-dried tomatoes all over it. And I got the smoked sun-dried tomatoes, but you can get the regular ones if you want. Pour these all over it. Get them all out of here. Come on out. There we go. All over everything. Then it said to add about a tablespoon of rosemary to everything, and it said you could add dry, but I had fresh, so I'm just gonna add fresh. Okay, and then it said to take a cup of half and half and just kind of pour it back and forth over everything. Okay. All right. And then take a 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan, and spread over the top of it. And then it said to take a 1/3 of a cup of mozzarella cheese and spread over the top of it. Well, I don't have any mozzarella cheese shredded, but I have these little fresh mozzarella balls. So I'm gonna put some of these little fresh mozzarella balls around in here. And that's how I'm gonna do mine. And I'm just gonna kind of nestle up around in here. Alright, and one more little pack. This one's missing one and I couldn't tell you why except for the fact that I ate it. And I'm going to bring y'all in close. Okay guys, this is what it should look like before you put it in the oven to bake. And you put it in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes or until the chicken is good and done. So I'm going to put this in the oven and I will bring y'all back as soon as our chicken is done and show you what it looks like, and we will taste this wonderful stuff together. Our sauce has been simmering for 30 minutes, guys. Look how beautiful it looks. This is our chicken when it comes out of the oven. Ain't that beautiful, guys? This is our spaghetti sauce. We've got our garlic toast over here. Beautiful casserole. That's what it should look like when it comes out of the oven. Okay guys, our casserole is done. And so we're going to dip up a plate of this stuff. And our spaghetti sauce is done. It's been simmering for an hour and it's ready to taste. I made us some pasta to go along with it so we could taste it. Some thin spaghetti noodles, some garlic toast. So let's give this stuff a taste. All right. Dip us up some of this. All right, we're gonna get some sauce on our spaghetti noodles. And I like extra sauce, so then we're gonna get us, there we go. No, a little bit more. Okay. I have grated Parmesan cheese over here, freshly grated. We're gonna put some of that on top. And before we taste these, I'm gonna bring y'all in and let y'all get a good look at these. Take a look at that plate, guys. Don't that look good? Now, let's take a look over here at this. Don't that look wonderful, guys? That looks really good. Okay, first we're gonna try the Tuscan chicken. If I can get me a bite of it. I want a little bit of everything. That's good. The broccoli, the spinach is really good, the chicken's good, the sun-dried tomatoes give it a whole nother flavor. Let me get one of the red tomatoes. They pop in your mouth. That is really good. And you would not believe that it's low carb. It does not taste like it's low carb. That's really good. I really like that. Now, there's nothing low carb about this. Let's give our spaghetti a taste. I like to mix it up real good. It's rich, it's saucy, it's cheesy, it's really good. It's my favorite sauce. There's no jar sauce could ever stand up to that. I gotta have another bite. That's the best sauce ever. Gotta dip my toast in it. Well, sling it out of the bowl. That is hands down the best sauce there is. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has stuck with me. And there's also something I'd like to talk to you about. This woman right here is my big sister. Her name is Sissy. That's what we call her. And a couple months ago, she was attacked by two bulldogs. They attacked her face. They tore her face up. They I'm sorry. They ripped up her face. They done her pretty rough. She had some bad spots on her face, and they took off one of her ears, except for 2 inches of it is all she has left of one of her ears. She underwent one surgery to fix a spot on her face, but she has to undergo several more surgeries to fix her ear. I'm asking that anybody who could please help with her surgery to get her ear repaired. On my Facebook page, Country to Coast Facebook page, there is a link on there to buy t-shirts. The proceeds from those t-shirts are going to help her. If you don't want to buy a t-shirt, you can donate to my Cash App, and it is also on my Facebook page. On there you'll find it, and I'll put a link to my Cash App down below. I am trying to raise all the money that I can to help her get the surgery to get her ear fixed. Anybody who would like to donate, please help me get her ear fixed. It would mean the world to me, and I really do appreciate it. Also, this is the video that I'd like everybody to like, comment down below, and share. And everybody who does that, their name will be entered into the drawing for the hat and the cheese board. I forgot to bring them over here to show them to you tonight, but they're in the video with the chicken and rice casserole. So if you go look at it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But everybody who likes, comments, and shares this video right here, your name will be entered into a drawing. My grandson Junior will pick the names, 2 names, out of a cup or a bowl, and one person will win a hat. I'm sorry, I'm still a little choked up. One person will win a hat, and the other person will win a cheese board that I'll be giving away. And I would like to say thank you in advance for anybody who donates or helps with my sister's surgery. It really, really would mean a lot to me. And thank you, and please join me next week to see what I'll be cooking. Bye.